Jim, the tire's still hanging out here. And he said, what? When the day that I went out to purchase my 210, I bought it out of Indiana, and the gentleman that owned the plane at the time hadn't flown it very much. He didn't have insurance on it. And so I said, okay, well, great. We'll do the pre-buy inspection. If everything looks good, then, I want to go fly it. And he said, okay, but, I really haven't flown it a lot in the last year, so I'm kind of rusty. And he said, and I don't have insurance on it either. And I said, well, I'm not buying it unless I go fly it with you. And we got in it, and actually the owner was in the pilot in command on it, and that my CFI kind of sat right seat, and I sat directly behind the pilot, and then the pre-buy A&P sat beside me, and he was going to watch the instruments and so forth. So the very first flight in this, we take off, and we're in the upwind and gear up, and as it comes up, I look out the window just to watch kind of the way that the 210 gear, comes up, and I'm looking, and the tire just stops about midway, and the guy that I bought it from, his name was Jim, and I said, Jim, the tire's still hanging out here, and he said, what? I said, yeah, the gear's not all the way up. And he said, oh my God, and I don't know what made me think of it, but I'm like looking right at the gauges, and I'm seeing the airspeed going, 90, 80, 70. I say, Jim, your airspeed. And he's like, oh my gosh, fly the plane, fly the plane. We flew around for about a half an hour. He talked to his mechanic, and, we were pretty much convinced. We had tried pumping it down. It wasn't going down. We had tried, pulling the breaker, putting the breaker in, etc., and troubleshooted a few things. And we had just all come to the conclusion that, well, we're going to do kind of a semi-belly gear up landing, belly landing, but with one of these tires being partially down, we just didn't know what was going to happen. For some reason, there was just this level of calmness that, we had in the plane. I don't know that Jim was calm. I think he knew it was going to be a total loss of the plane for him. But anyway, needless to say, when we got in on our short final, for whatever reason, it just kind of released it, and then and the gear extended down, and we were able to. We weren't certain it was locked in, but we saw that it was extended, and landed no problem. So it was pretty entertaining for that. And come to find out, it was an O-ring that it wasn't getting enough pressure in the lines, and it somehow got tweaked in there, and it wouldn't release properly is what they determined. And so once they fixed the O-ring and adjusted the gear, then it swung fine, and we didn't have any more problems. Then I called my wife, and I told her this whole incident. She says, okay, well, when are you flying home? And I said, well, I'm buying the plane. She said, what? I'm like, what are the odds that the first time that I go up in this plane that I have a gear up, situation? And I'm like, so I'm buying the plane for $5,000 less. So